like a weapon, but rather something you might have with you or attached to your keys. And while non-lethal, they say it's amazingly effective. We're here with Dr. Russell Wilson, MD, PhD, and neurologist, who will explain how pulse wave technology works. And then we're going to watch this amazing little instrument in action. Dr. Wilson, how exactly do pulse waves affect the human body?
Well, simply stated, hostility originates in the hypothalamic region of the brain, and our voluntary muscles are controlled by electrical impulses originating in the autonomic region of the brain. When you touch someone with a myotron, the electronic pulse waves interrupt or block these signals.
So it intercepts the brain waves and scrambles the nervous system?
Basically, yes.
Well, what happens then?
The person will simply collapse and remain very passive.
For how long?
Depending upon the length of contact, they can be immobilized for up to 30 minutes, and they may remain passive for hours.
And it's not lethal?
It's absolutely non-lethal, and recovery is complete with no after effects.
Thank you, Doctor. I'm sure our audience is as anxious as I am to see the pulse wave myotron work. So we're going to watch this amazing instrument in action. She stands 6 foot 4 inches tall. Her name is Pamela Garrett, and she's a black belt 12-year veteran self-defense instructor. Pamela, can we sit down so I don't feel quite so short?
Sure.
Pam, you carry a myotron. Why?
Because it works. Every time. No muss, no fuss, no violence.
I'll buy that. Show us how it works.
Couldn't be simpler. You activate it by pulling the safety slide back and pressing the hidden button. The pulse wave comes from the tip. It has a wrist strap so you don't have to hold it when carrying packages, and so that someone cannot take it away from you. Also, it has a quick release key attachment. Keys are the most commonly carried item on Earth, so it's simple. If you have your keys, you're protected.
Pam, earlier I asked if you would mind if we demonstrated it on you, but you wouldn't volunteer.
No, I don't think so.
I'm Ed, and this is my wife, Shelley. I told her again and again, nobody's safe anymore, and since I'm not around all the time, we have to get you a gun. She says she doesn't want a gun, especially with the kids around. Then she mentions this Myotron thing, and honestly, I thought it was some kind of a stun gun. Anyway, she keeps on and on. It's got a money-back guarantee and a lifetime warranty. So I ordered one. It arrives, and I checked it out. Take it from me, it's no stun gun, and this is no toy. In 1/1000th of a second, it completely scrambles your nervous system, yet it's still safe. Never needs recharging. On one lithium power pack, it can actually test fire every day for 10 years. I'm a skeptic, and I'll tell you, I was impressed. So like I was telling her, she doesn't need a gun. Best idea I ever had. So I bought one for myself in black.
His name, Thomas Rossi. Serial rapist. Repeat offender. His preferences were simple. Female and blonde. Sharon Comlos. Female and blonde. You were on your way home when you noticed a car pulling alongside you. At that moment, you had no way of knowing that that demented creature driving the other car would in seconds turn your life into a living hell. He fired 3 shots into your car. The second one hit you, blinding you for life. Sharon, tell us in your own words, what happened next?
Well, there was a flash of light, and then suddenly darkness. And a man's voice appeared out my window, offering to take me to the hospital. He helped me out of my car and into his. We drove for a while, and the car came to a stop. He helped me into a building, and the door slammed shut behind me. and suddenly I realized I was not in a hospital.
My God, Sharon, this was the man who shot you.
Yes, I was now in a room with a man I was unable to see. He pushed me down on a mattress and then put a pillow over my face and tried to suffocate me. The whole ordeal lasted about 11 hours. Then throughout the night, I was stabbed and raped. In the morning, I was awakened to the sound of a plastic trash bag and the sounds of my clothing being thrown into that trash bag. And then the man reached down and picked at my wrist as if he was feeling for a pulse. And then I heard him leave. The police speculate that he left me to find a way to dispose of my body. And when I realized he had gone, I got up, made my way to the door, and walked out into a balcony.
Now, let me get this straight. You were on the balcony, and you couldn't see, but you could tell you were outside.
Yes, because I could feel the warm concrete under my feet, and I could feel the warm sun on my body. But I was afraid he was going to come back very quickly, so I started to scream.
Now, a man that was driving by saw you on that balcony, and he took you to the hospital.
Yes, and if it weren't for him, I probably wouldn't be sitting here today.
My name is Bert Stickler. I spent 27 years as a special agent with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. As you are probably aware, an out-of-control epidemic of violent crime is sweeping this nation. Law enforcement simply does not have the money or the manpower to contain it. Therefore, it's up to each of us to take responsibility for our own safety. The new Myotron checkmate was originally designed for law enforcement. This means it is manufactured to the highest possible standards. Being small and cleverly disguised provides a major advantage for its owner. As such, there is no question that it represents a major breakthrough in personal protection for the 90s. I carry a Myotron because it is a safe and sensible alternative to carrying a lethal weapon. If you are serious about protecting yourself and your family, then take it from me. The Myotron is the answer.